All right. It's telling me I'm live. Now, wait a minute. Yep, I'm live. Or is that alive? All right. I am using, let's see if it'll disappear. Hang on a second. Come on. Today I am using one of the other microphones because I noticed again the grease pencil mark I somehow rubbed off when I only have a limited number of these arms. So I removed the microphones and I put another microphone on. Well, evidently, when I was taking the mic off the arm, I wiped a little grease pencil mark off that showed me the volume. So hopefully this isn't too loud, but if it is, there's just barely a little dot from the previous mark. So that might be what the volume level should be. With that out of the way, I've been watching, besides the courts, I've been watching a lot of YouTubers. Little adjustment here. And these are YouTubers that have, 40, 50, 60, 100,000 subscribers. Not like me. Let's get something else out of the way. Because watching all these YouTubers today, I noticed something. You have to do this. Please subscribe. Please like this video. Please share this video. Okay? Now, I would appreciate between now and the stroke of midnight, come New Year's, that I get 3 more subscribers. I'd like to get to 30. Yeah, I'm sitting at 27 for quite a bit now. I'd like to get to at least 30. I mean, it would be nice if I was sitting like at 30,000, but there ain't 30,000 people out there that want to hear the grumpy old man bitch and moan and complain and talk about stupid shit. Hang on a minute. Sorry about that. The studio door was open. I hate that. I hate when the studio door is open. But let's get back to If I could get three, that's all I'm asking, three more subscribers between now and the stroke of midnight, it would really make my year. And then next year, I might get lucky and get up to 60. You know, it just amazes me. And, you know, a lot of these people that run YouTube channels actually have something that people want to hear. And that's how they get their subscriber level. And it utterly amazes me to go on some of these YouTube channels and see, you know, 50,000, 60,000, 100,000. There's one that I watch on a regular basis. He's got 1 million subscribers. Now, out of that 1 million, how many are dedicated subscribers that pay a monthly membership? Because a lot of these YouTube channels have a monthly membership. They pay for that YouTuber to put out content. And there's one, and he has no problem showing receipts. I mean, he shows income from YouTube. He makes enough money not only to support his family. We're talking, you know, house payment and food and utilities and necessities. He makes enough money to afford a payment on a Ferrari. And we're not talking some old junky Ferrari. We're talking, I think it's a 2021 or 2022. No, I think it's a 2020. It's a Ferrari. $200,000 car. And he makes enough off of YouTube revenue because he doesn't work a full-time job. His full-time job is putting out content on YouTube. And of course, once you have so many members on YouTube, you can become monetized. And of course, there's ads on your channel, like commercials. And you get a check every month from YouTube. Now, it depends on how many views that your videos get during that month. So it's not like working a normal job where you know, okay, I'm going to bring in, you know, $10,000 a month. 1 month he may get $50,000, and then the next month, $5,000. So it's risky, but very rarely does his income drop below, we'll say, $10,000 a month. And he includes his Ferrari in a lot of his YouTube videos, like when he does upgrades, you know, Last week he put a set of rims and tires on it, and he does critiques of the vehicle, but to be able to afford a Ferrari, unbelievable. I can't imagine making that kind of income off of YouTube. Now, of course, you have to have content that people want to watch. I wish I could figure that out. Because, at 27 subscribers, and I've been on YouTube for 2 years now, maybe 2.5, coming on 3. It's obvious I'm not putting out content that anybody really wants to watch. But I would like to get three more subscribers between now and the end of the year. Make the grumpy old man happy. 3. Yeah. Kind of strange to come on, say January 1 and say, I made my 30 subscribers. Where some people are out there that are going to say, I made my 30,000 subscribers. And besides being monetized on YouTube, these channels all have subscriptions where it costs like anywhere from $2.99 to $5.99 to $7.99 a month for you to see their. Now, they do special content for members only. So it's not like everybody gets to see the same content. Members get special privileges. And I know some of it is, special videos, maybe a tour of an auto factory. And, if you're an auto-related channel, that is for members only. But I would, I think you have to have 5,000. I think you have to have at least 5,000 subscribers in order to become monetized, where YouTube pays you for your content. But these are content creators that you can tell are professional. And then you have on the opposite end of the spectrum, like a couple I was watching today, where they just hog the whole channel. I felt sorry for the one guest that the one YouTuber had on today. Because there was content from this guest that people actually wanted to hear. And he would no sooner ask the guest a question, and then one of his channel subscribers would pop into the chat And he would welcome them. Hey, Sam 46, Julie 692. And he cut this guy off. And it was constant. The guy could barely get a sentence out of his mouth. And the channel holder was constantly welcoming people or making comments to what people were saying in the chat. Well, for Christ's sake, if you're going to have a guest on, let the guy speak, for God's sake. Evidently, he doesn't watch interviews on TV. Like 60 Minutes or 2020 or whatever, 48 Hours, where the interviewer is sitting across from the guest, and they ask a question and they let the guest answer. They're not going, oh, hey, Fred, I see you, you came back from lunch. And Susie, I see you got your new clipboard. It was driving me crazy watching this guy. And this is a guy that's got almost 6,000 subscribers. Now, I don't know how many of them are paying the monthly fee, but to have 6,000 people subscribing to your channel and you treat a guest and it wasn't just today. He hogs the channel all the time. And sometimes making some of the stupidest comments. From watching him, my forehead was sore from the forehead slaps that I was doing, going, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. But this is an interesting platform. I got to hand it to the guys that thought this up. I really do. From going from a little hardly unknown channel to what they are now. I mean, it exploded because anyone can do what I'm doing. Anyone can get a microphone. And then you don't even need a microphone. Use a laptop. Laptop's got a built-in camera, a built-in microphone. Anyone can do content on YouTube. Now, there are some limitations, There are terms of service that you can't violate. But if you stay within the rules, Grandma down the street could do a baking channel. All she needs is, a laptop or a tablet. And maybe it's just her in her kitchen, baking a pie or something. But there's people that want to watch. So, YouTube is like me, I do this for fun. Sometimes at night, I like to put myself on my, my 68-inch RCA TV, wow, look at that asshole. Who's that? Oh, that's me. I do this for fun. And sometimes I put out videos, I don't even get a view. I'll check it the next morning, it'll say 0. It don't hurt my feelings, boys and girls. I do this because I almost got into the news media. Back in the late 60s and early 70s, we had an AM radio station, WIXY, Wixie 1260 AM. It was the station. They played all the current music. They had hot disc jockeys. The main disc jockey, what they call the morning drive, was Mike Ranieri. He was a crazy son of a bitch. Well, the station was down at West 3rd and Lakeside in the old Crown building. I don't even know if the Crown building is still there. The first floor at one time was the Auto Title Bureau. I worked there. And that's how I found out that up on the 4th or 5th floor, I can't remember, was Wixie radio station. As a matter of fact, when it converted from AM, well, they put in new studios, and Wixie was at one end of the hall, and Magic 105.7 was in the other end of the hall, and John Lanigan was the morning DJ. And I used to talk to Lanigan on a regular basis because he always parked his Porsche in the same spot in the parking lot. It was his spot. And at 10 o'clock, when he'd be done for the day, that was my break time. And in the good weather, I'd be outside having a cigarette. We could smoke in the building at that time, but I used to like to go outside, get some fresh air. And I'd have my cigarette close to Lanigan's Porsche. And I would talk to him. And he was a nice guy. Everybody thought Lanigan was an asshole. He was opinionated, but he'd talk to anybody. Well, at that time, Mike Ranieri and a couple of the other disc jockeys started the Wixie School of Broadcast Technique. Okay? It was $1,000 for the course, which was, back in the 70s, that was a lot of money. But once you completed the course, it was like, professional. I can't remember what the broadcasting school is over on. It's not on Brook Park. It might be over in Granger, but there's a professional broadcast school. Well, Wixie somehow convinced the international broadcasters, or whatever is the governing body in the United States, to become an accredited broadcast school, which meant when you completed the course, you got a certificate. You were a licensed broadcaster, which could get you a job at any radio or TV station. And at the time, it was kind of an open market, not like it is today. It's tough to get a broadcasting job. Well, I paid my $1,000, and we were about halfway through, and the one thing I have to say is I did get to do a little bit in a professional studio. Of course, it was a booth announcer's job, and it was graveyard. And booth announcer, which is what it basically, you're in a little cubicle, and you've got a soundboard, the microphone, and when the red light would come on, you would do like, it's 12:30 in Cleveland, and the weather is 56 degrees and cloudy, and tomorrow it's going to be in the 70s, and or you did a commercial for whatever, for some local gutter company, but I was in a national broadcasting studio. Well, we were about 6 months into the course, and one day we showed up and there was nobody there. And we were told that course was done. I was like, what do you mean the course is done? We're done. They lost their accreditation or something somehow. Things got screwed up. Well, all of us got screwed out of our $1,000 too, because we didn't get no money back. We didn't get no certificates. We didn't get no refund. We couldn't sue because you can't get blood from we were this close. I think it was 9 months. I think we had 3 months to go. 9 months. We were this close. And several of us fought it with the International I think it was the International Broadcast Corporation or something like that, saying, we're this close. We got 9 months under our belt to be professional broadcasters. And it was going to cost a lot of money, more than we could afford, because we would have had to get a big name attorney, not some local attorney, because we would be fighting the international. So that's one of the reasons I started. Because I feel like I'm actually that certified licensed broadcaster with a certificate, a DJ. They don't call them disc jockeys anymore because, things are different now. But, back in the day, a disc jockey would show up at a dance, they called it sock hop at the time, with a record player and a couple of plug-in speakers and a stack of 45 RPM records, and he'd be playing records, and he'd have his microphone and his little amplifier, and it was big in the day. Now, today they'd laugh their ass off because, DJs now got all this sophisticated equipment. But back in the 50s and 60s, that's the way it was. A a disc jockey played records. They had turntables in the studio. He'd announce the record and he'd start playing it and throw the switch, turn off his microphone, the record would be playing. Maybe they'd play two in a row, so when that one quit, he'd start this one up. Yes, and that's why they call them disc jockeys, because they actually had turntables and played real records. Kids nowadays, what's a record? I still have many 45 and 33 RPM, they call it vinyl, although it's making a comeback, but I've got my whole stereo system from the 70s. My turntable, my amplifiers, my tape decks. I don't have my reel-to-reel anymore. I could kick myself for selling it. And my equalizer and my reverberator, which reverbs were big back in the day. The echo chambers is what they were. Like this microphone, it's got an echo to it. I can turn the echo up a little more. That was a reverb. Back in the day, the echo was cool. They had them in your car. You have them in your house. But with that, I'm going to call it a night. I will talk to you tomorrow. I guess I have to do this in order to see if I can get them 3 more subscribers, get me to 30. That's all I want, 30 by the end of the year, 30. All right, boys and girls. The grumpy old man signing off. Talk to you tomorrow. See you, bye.